Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming. We're going to start tonight with the Franklin's Winter Trio, doing some of Frank's original music. Ladies and gentlemen, the Franklin's Winter Trio.
good to be here. It's good to see you all here. It's my first time performing here, and it's a beautiful place. So, that first song was called Angel Girl from our CD, Thoughts Reveal. This next one is also from the CD. It's called Happy Toes Rags, kind of Scott Joplin meets swing music. One more of my songs before I bring Peter up. I wrote this one dedicated to my mother. It's called Lisa's Dream.
belong to you and to me. Oh, Gigi, like the song of the wind in the trees, that's about to sing it, Gigi, happy Gigi, when you're with me. If I only had words I would say all the beautiful things that I see when you're with me. Oh, my Gigi, I love you more each day. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'd let you go your way if you take me with you. Don't you know, Gigi, I'd be running and searching for you like the river that can't find the sea. That would be without you. Of the wind in the tree, that's how hard it's singing, Gigi, happy Gigi, when you're with me. Oh, like the song of the wind in the tree, that's how hard it's singing, Gigi, happy Gigi, when you're with me. You believe me, I love you more each day. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'd let you go your way if you take me with you. Don't you know, Gigi, I'd be running and searching for you like a river that can't find the sea. That would give me without you. Without you. Without you. She's there watching for me. My mother stands on golden sand and watches the ships that go sailing beyond the sea. She's there waiting for me. If I had plans like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. shore, and we'll kiss just as before. And happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. Beyond the shore, and we'll kiss just as before. And we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. Bye-bye sailing. See you, Captain. So long sailing. I'm staying home. Thank you. And thank you all for coming. This is just what we'd hoped for. A room full of friends and family. Have a nice, relaxing night. Let me tell you what we're all about up here. This is kind of a crazy thing. I know when you probably heard jazz and opera, you had to go, what? Well, I'm crazy and I thought of it. And the reason I thought of it is we're all on the same record label, Sunstone Records, which is owned and operated by Frank Consuelo here. Frank has put together a really, really nice boutique label. Features really great artists. Got Frank's, a couple of different projects of Frank's, the Jazz Piano Trio, which you heard a bit of tonight. He's got a couple other projects, One World, a group that's only been around for 30 years. Rocco's been a part of that group since its inception as well.
I was 12 when I started.
It's delusional, but go along with it. It gets dangerous otherwise. Anyway, Rocco and Frank, I met when I was 18 years old. I had just moved into a little apartment, and these two heads popped into my door. One guy says, hey, I'm Frank. The other one says, I'm Rocco. And for the last 41 years, we've been friends and playing a lot of music together, so it's been fun. Speaking of the trio, let me take a moment and introduce them, if I may. Starting with Rocco Pursuti. Rocco hails from Los Angeles. He's played with the best of the best, and we're happy to have him here tonight. Rocco Pursuti. Also on the label, Rocco's on the label too with his original music as well, and as is Barry Farrar. Now Barry on drums tonight is also a San Diego native. And for over the last 30 years, he's had his show on Jazz 88.3, Profiles in Percussion, correct? How'd I do?
Percussive profile.
Percussive profile. He couldn't afford the extra printing when he started 30 years ago. But anyway, Barry Farrar, he's got his own trio that's also on the Sunstone label that last year was ranked in the top 10 of San Diego's new groups. And that CD's done really well. Anyway, Barry Farrar on drums. Now, there's a lot I could say about Frank, but I'm not gonna. He is one of the finest musicians I've ever had the pleasure of working with, whether he's playing jazz, whether he's playing classical music, which you'll enjoy a little later, whether he's playing guitar, whether he's writing, arranging, or just playing somebody else's music. He's one of the best there is. Frank Consuelo. Well, let's do another one. What do you think? This song's from Andy Get Your Gun. And how they got a great swing tune out of a country show, I don't know, but they did. They say that falling in love is wonderful. It's wonderful, so they say. The thing that's known as romance is wonderful. It's wonderful, so they tell me. I can't recall who said it. I know I never read it. I only know they tell me that love is granddad. If there's a girl in your arms, it's wonderful, wonderful in every way, so they say. They say that falling in love is wonderful. It's wonderful, so they say. And with the moon up above, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, so they tell me. You leave your house one morning, and then without any warning, you're finding yourself shouting that love is grand. And if there's a girl in your arms, it's wonderful, wonderful in every way. In every way, in every way, so they say. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so nice to go home with us. This is great. What?
Well, I'm just asking personal question.
I'm afraid of that. Feel free to speak up, it's okay.
When I talk quiet, it's like a class.
Hey, drink up, all you people. Order anything you see, and have fun, you happy people. The drink and the laughs on me. Try to think that love's not around. Still it's uncommonly near. My poor old heart ain't gaining any ground, because my angel eyes ain't here. angel eyes, that old devil sent, they glow unbearably bright. Need I say that my love is misspent, misspent on angel eyes tonight? Go ahead and drink up, all you people. Order anything you see and have lots of fun, you lucky people. The drink and the laughs on me. Pardon me, but I gotta run. The facts uncommonly clear. I've got to find who's now number one, and why my angel eyes ain't here. Excuse me while I disappear. Thank you. That song, I'll tell you a quick story. It's a very special song to me. When I was a little boy, my dad loved that song. He sang it all the time. And when I was in my early 20s, I was working a club, and my dad came by, as he regularly did. And he had a guy with him. And on the break, I sat down, he introduced me to his friend Matt. We talked for a few minutes. And this man, Matt, says, "Do you mind if I go play the piano and do a song while you're on break?" I said, "No." So he walks up there, I look at my dad, I go, "Can he play?" He goes, "It's Matt Dennis, the guy that wrote Angel Eyes." So I can't help but think of that night and remember my dad when I do that song. That was probably the most boring story you've ever heard. But songs, I think, mean special things to us. You know, I think we all have a song that brings back good memories, bad memories. Yeah. Do you want to play guitar? He's getting ahead of himself. He wants to play guitar so bad. We keep him behind the piano because he's so good. No. Well, I'm going to put two ballads together here for you. My old friend Jack Jones did this arrangement of two wonderful jazz ballads, and, well, I stole it from him. There's no other way to say it. And really two beautiful, beautiful sad songs put together, so I hope you like them. I like sad songs. You've changed. That sparkle in your eyes is gone. Your smile is just a careless yellow. You're breaking my heart, you've changed. You've changed. Your kisses are now so pleasant. You're bored with me in every way. I can't understand, you've changed. You've forgotten the words I love you. Each memory we've that's above you. I can't realize you ever cared. It begins to tell round midnight, I do pretty well till after sundown. Supper time, I'm feeling sad, but it really gets bad round midnight. Memories always start round midnight, Haven't got the heart to spend those memories when my heart is still with you. And no midnight knows a when some quarrel we've had needs mending, does that mean our love is empty? Baby, I need you, but lately I find you're out of my arms and I'm out of my mind. You've changed. You're not the angel I once knew. No need to tell me that we're through. It's all over now. You've changed. Bill, you've changed. Well, we'll talk about that. Frank, take that guitar out. Don't hurt yourself. You just make it look easy. I'm glad you guys dressed coolly. I did. This is a song that Frank actually introduced to me, and it's fun. It's called Purcell. And more than anything, it gives Frank a chance to play guitar. Play it, Frank. Where hearts were entertaining you, we stood beneath an ember moon and softly murmured something soon. We kissed and clung together, and tomorrow was another day. The morning found me miles away. We're still a million things to say. Now thing I'm certain I will return. I will to Brazil. Brazil, where hearts were entertained and true, stood beneath the moon and murmured someday soon we kissed and clung together. Then tomorrow was another day. The morning found me miles away with still a million things to say. Now with twilight dims the sky above, recalling thrills above love, there's one thing I'm certain of, return. I will to Brazil. Derek Farrar on drums, ladies and gentlemen. Brazil, where hearts were entertained and chill, we stood beneath an amber moon and softly murmured someday soon and clung together. And tomorrow was another day. The morning found me miles away with still a million things to say. Now, with twilight dims the sky above, recalling thrills of our love, there's one thing I'm certain of, return. I will to Brazil. I will. Are you happy now, Frank? Frank's happy, we're all good. So, getting back to this thought, we have so many different types of acts on this record label. I had the crazy idea of mixing some things up, which is why we're here. We've got the jazz portion of the show. We've got, after that, which I'm going to do another song for you. After that, we'll have a little intermission. Feel free to drink liberally. I found out there's no cops out tonight, so just have fun. Also, we do have CDs for sale. Buy liberally, it's okay. After the brief intermission, we'll be back with Aaron Blake and the trio, and we're going to introduce many of the jazz fans to a whole different kind of thing. People always ask me, jazz and opera, does that mix? I think so, because they vibrate kind of at the same frequency. The opera is so precise and exact, and classical music takes so much study and practice, as does jazz. So there's really a lot of similarities. And when you meet Aaron, you can't help but fall in love with the kid. He's wonderful. So I know you're going to enjoy it. But right now, I got another song for you. It's kind of fun. Called Overnight Success. Story of my life. I left out a few things. I was sitting cross-legged, in my jammies with the feet, watching Andy Williams show, the men were singing sweet. I I looked up at my mom and said, that's what I want to do, and you know that dream came true. Well, I started in the choir, then I formed my own bronze band. Johnny Prophet heard me sing, said, kid, start singing jazz. Taught me all the tunes and put me in the shows, and a cool breeze started to flow. When I was 17, Andy Williams liked my style. I became his protege for a short and painful while. Then years of working clubs, odd jobs in between, and a thing to hold my craft and keep alive my dream. Now I'm an overnight success. I'm an overnight success. I'm an overnight success. I'm an overnight success. Well, the dreams of pretty girls and Rolls Royce limousines kinda lost its luster, cause at this age it seems all the girls are pretty, cause I can finally see, and the world looks good to me. I'm an overnight success. I'm an overnight success. I'm an overnight success. Just an overnight success. So Frankie. Living my life so much larger than before. At this point in time, I couldn't want for more. 40 years of making music with the best. Now I'm an overnight success. 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 That was one long day. Oh, but I just prayed. All my dreams came true, cause I'm here with you. I'm an overnight success. Just an overnight success. I'm an overnight success. Just an overnight success. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a few minutes and everybody. Thank you. Franklin Sweater Trio. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start the second half of our show. So if you'd be kind enough to give a wonderful, warm welcome to a fabulous singer, my friend, Aaron Blake.
Hello, buonasera a tutti, come stai? Well, that's where my Italian's going to end this evening because I get a little bit nervous in front of big groups like this, and I did study Italian in school and I do speak pretty well, but you're going to have to endure my English for the evening. The program, however, is all in Italian. My name is Aaron Blake. I didn't meet Peter and Frank and Rocco 41 years ago in an apartment complex in Los Angeles. I wasn't quite born yet. But we have known each other for a few months now, and we enjoy making music together. I'm an opera singer, so all of the music from here on out that you'll be hearing this evening is going to be completely acoustic. I don't use any amplification when I sing, which I'm sure that how many of you guys are opera fans in the audience? Okay, great. I'm so glad to know that. I knew that there were a lot of opera fans actually in San Diego because you guys are having some difficulties with your opera company right now. And I'm really glad to know that you all are getting behind your board and your opera company and trying to save it, and I have full faith that that will happen. I've been talking with a number of friends of mine in the industry, and they all seem to think that that's really going to be a go. So I'm really happy that opera is going to live in San Diego. Anyway, you'll get to know me a little bit more as the program commences. I always have my bottle of water and have some chapstick in my back pocket. And the first song that I'm going to sing for you is a song by Cutino. He wrote a number of operas. I'm sure you're familiar with them: The Barber of Seville, La Cenerentola, which is Cinderella. He also wrote some really, really fun songs, and this particular one is called La Promessa, and it's a flirtatious, wonderful Italian song, and I think it's a really, really great way to get things started. So, without further ado, this is Frank Unzueta on the piano. You've met him, he's really terrific. Give him a round of applause. He also has a lot of family here in the audience tonight, which is super fun, new family friends, I love it. And so here goes La Promessa. I'm going to take my jacket off because it's super hot in San Diego, and I've just finished doing a long stint in Minneapolis. And so it's really warm for me right now because it's been like 30 to 40 degrees for the past 6 weeks for me, so I'm roasting, and I don't want to sweat in front of you, that's rude. You're all sweating too? Oh, well, I still don't want to sweat in front of you.
It's not humid here, though.
Yeah, Peter.
It's not humid here?
What? I don't know what that means. I just do it up there.
I worked a lot.
I have no idea what that means.
Alright, very good.
No
something more about me. Tenors and tenors in general, we're always really great when the first high note goes well and is behind us. We can breathe a deep breath. It means that we know that we've warmed up properly and the evening is going to go pretty well. So how many first-time opera people are there here tonight? I know I met Christy over there with Cesar in the corner, and there are a couple people here. So can I ask what your first impression is of hearing the unamplified human voice for the very first time? I know, it's oddly powerful, isn't it? It kind of speaks to your body in a little bit of a different way. Peter was saying that there's lots of similarities between jazz and opera when he was performing in the first half. And that's really, really true. There are a lot of similarities. And what I'd like to add in addition to what he said is that our ability in classical music, everybody thinks, oh my gosh, classical music is super strict and we have to follow all of these rules and there are bar lines and key signatures and all sorts of things that we have to obey. But we actually, in order to make it alive, and we're actually real people too, that's why I took that penguin suit off, you know? If I had my brothers, I'd be in a t-shirt right now and some bands. But anyway, we're all about creating a natural ebb and flow of the music, and so there are rules, but we get to break them a lot too, which makes the music come alive. So that was Rossini. That's from the classical period, of course. Some of Rossini's contemporaries were Verdi, Donizetti. These were all Italian composers that composed in the bel canto style, which means beautiful singing. And I don't know if I lived up to that expectation. But what bel canto speaks to, you guys, is the line that's created. I don't know if you noticed what Frank was doing. There were some interludes where he got to play some really, really beautiful piano music. But then once I started singing, he was creating a beautiful texture underneath me that was allowing the vocal line to spin above. And that's what bel canto is all about, this really, really beautiful vocal line that we get to hear, to sing, and then you guys get to hopefully enjoy. This next composer, we're going to do a couple of songs by a composer by the name of Francesco Paolo Tosti. This is fast forwarding a few years. He lived in the end of the 1800s and on into the almost 1950s actually. He was the personal composer to Queen Elizabeth, and he wrote a number of songs for Enrico Caruso. I don't know if any of you have heard of him. He was a very great, I'm sure that at the Convivio Society you have. He's a pretty great guy. I saw a poster of Verdi back there when I was waiting to come on, and I learned so much about tuna fishing. Wow, it's really impressive. And if anybody wants to donate that Vespa back there to my cause, I'll talk to you after the show. This is a really, really fun composer. He wrote songs, all opera songs by the way, even arias, they all tell a story. And you don't have to exactly know the words to get the idea of the story, but luckily I'm here to translate a little bit for you. Because the music also speaks to your heart in a very, very different way, you know? And this first song is Malia, which is a beautiful young Italian girl's name. And this guy who's in love with Malia, he says to her, he goes, gosh, the flower, you're so beautiful that flowers spring up wherever you walk. And I don't know what I can't take my eyes off of you and I feel like I'm going to explode. Basically is what he said. I mean, is there some innuendo in that? I've been talking to some of my coaches and we still can't figure it out. Anyway, this is Malia, and then there will be another song after this by the same composer called L'ultima canzone, and I'll tell you a little bit about that before I sing it. Very fast.
Io non chiedo quella beata, fino adesso soggiorno ti fu, non ti chiedo se l'invase fata, se una bionda parvenza sei tu, ma che c'è nel tuo sguardo fatale, cosa c'hai nel tuo magico dir, se mi guardi
word in Italian that means good job. I'm so glad that some of you know what it is. Just kidding. That line, you know, in our training, I went to a school called the Juilliard School in New York for my training. It's a great place. Yeah. A round of applause to them and for me for getting through that. It was stressful at times. In any event, after you graduate from school, a usual track for a young classical musician of piano or violin or anything is you can go do an apprentice program or a resident artist program. And so my first resident artist program out of my master's was in Salt Lake City, Utah. And with the Utah Opera and Symphony. It's a really wonderful company. They do 5 productions a year, and then I also soloed with the Symphony at Abravanel Hall, which was really, really terrific. It's a great way to learn a lot of repertoire and to become comfortable with an orchestra and stuff like that. To make this story a little bit short, as you can see, I took my jacket off and I'm really already sweating a lot. We use our bodies a lot when we sing. But I did a lot of school shows when I was, and so one of the things about the Utah Opera is that over the course of a 3-year period, the young resident artists of the Utah Opera, they go out every week and they do 5 to 8 school shows, and in a 3-year period, they reach every single school in every single district in the entire state. Which is really, I mean, bravo to them, because it's really an amazing way to cultivate a musical knowledge at a very, very young age. I wish we did more of that in California, but in any event, at this school show, we had a game show called Who Wants to Be an Opera Star? And we would teach these little kids the word bravo and say that that's the Italian word that means good job. So that made me chuckle. I wanted to share that story with you. It probably means nothing, and you're like, just sing more English. Okay, so I'll grant your wish. L'ultima canzone, I told you, is the next song. L'ultima canzone, the last song. The reason why it's the last song is because this young lover is unable to marry the girl that he loves, and he's up on this kind of hill overlooking her wedding ceremony, and he says that he'll sing this song forever to her, and that he'll always remember the time that they had together. So this is L'ultima canzone, and you'll hear it's a little bit minor, and then there's a little bit of a major part when he compares her to 2 different kinds of flowers, mint and rose.
volete ai nostri vecchi amori. Ma sempre notte e giorno, pieno di passione, verrà gemendo a voi la mia canzone. Verrà gemendo la mia canzone.
That's a good one. Yeah. So, do you like Tosti? Did I introduce you to a fun new composer for those of you who don't know? There are a number of CDs out actually that have beautiful Tosti songs on them by all of the tenors. We love Tosti. He wrote some really fun melodies to sing. So that brings us to our next little song, which is a pretty famous Neapolitan song. Do you like canzonette napoletane? Si. Okay, good. Me too. I really like them a lot. There might be a couple on here, but on this program is what I mean by here. Anyway, this one is Non ti scordar di me, which is really beautiful. I hope that you love it as much as I do. It means like don't ever forget me. So perhaps I'll endear some fans after this concert, and you guys will keep in touch, and we can meet at different concerts and things like that, which would be really, really fun. But without further ado, this is going to be kind of in a little bit more of a romantic style. And although there's no orchestra tonight, Frank does a really good job of impersonating one. You'll hear a bit of a thicker accompanimental texture in his playing, and also a little bit more passion in the accompaniment part, in the piano part or orchestra part. It's a little bit more lush, and it will speak to your heartstrings a little bit more. So this is Non ti scordar di me. I need to drink water. Oh, good. Everybody, cheers. Cheers to a wonderful evening. Have a drink. And now I'm going to roll up my sleeves. Because we get a little dirty in the opera world sometimes. More? Are you trying to tell me to unbutton my shirt? I know this is an Italian club, but I'm not very legal right now. All right. Hit it, Frank.
Senza sole, cercare
little bit more now, huh? Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, it's so pretty, right? It's just like, it's luscious. My voice likes it too. You get to really like sing, and it's a little bit more of a direct line, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like a steamroller right over your heart. Now we're gonna move into, we'll invite a couple of the guys back up here. We're gonna do some songs that you probably really have heard of much more than the ones that I've just been performing for you. These are also Italian songs, but there might be a few English words, you know, thrown in here and there. They're by a wonderful American composer named David Foster. He's pretty terrific, and he wrote these songs for a couple of pretty good tenors that are out there. And the first one that we're going to do is the prayer. I just wanted to double check that with my maestro back there. Or La Preghiera in Italian. Has anybody heard this song before? Yeah? Okay.
I have it on my playlist.
You have it on your playlist. Yeah, it's pretty popular. It's really, really beautiful. Sometimes it's sung in a duet form, and sometimes it's sung as a solo. I don't have any other singers here. Well, I mean, I could invite Peter up, I guess. But do you sing soprano well, Peter? I usually don't do duets with boys. Anyway, this is the prayer. It's really beautiful, and it has a really, really nice sentiment too. With the English and Italian, you kind of get the translation, so I don't have to talk about it as so much, and you kind of explain to you what it's about, but you'll get it. So this is the prayer, and then I'm gonna have another drink of water before we start it over.
We'll start that.
They say you'll be our eye and watch us where we go. You'll teach us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer. When we lose our way, lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. La luce che tu dai nel cuore resterà a ricordarci che l'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera. Quanta fede c'è, lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza, un mondo a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll feel safe. E la fede che hai acceso in noi sento che ci
It's a beautiful song. So this next one actually brings us to our final selection this evening, which, gosh, that's kind of sad. Well, we might, I don't know, I don't know. We might have brought some more music, but anyway, this next song is aptly named. I don't think that it really needs any kind of introduction at all. You guys will all know it, and you will all love it. And it's very appropriate for the final song. That's okay. I think I'm okay.
Solo sogni all'orizzonte mancan le parole. Io so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole. Se non ci sei, tu con me, con me. Sulle finestre mostra tutto il mio cuore che hai acceso. Chiudi dentro me la luce che hai
do have a first up. We need 1 minute though. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. I did my job. Good. Yes, it's like complete opposite. It's a great song. It's also Italian to go with the evening, and it's funny. Frank and I were playing around with various arrangements, and I sing a lot with orchestra, and that's a different texture, and I do a lot of recitals with piano. But I don't get to sing with guitar a lot, and it dawned on me that this song would have been performed initially a lot in the streets with guitar. Probably I would be playing the guitar and singing at the same time. I'm not that talented, so you don't get that joy tonight. But Frank is that talented, and so we'll do this one last song for you. It's O Sole Mio.
Cosa, ma io rinasco
have a question. Let me just confer really quickly. So we have one more for you. It's not Italian. Oh, I'm sorry. But it's really beautiful. It also needs no introduction, and it's charming. And it'll kind of tie in the whole evening of opera and jazz, and they're kind of interchangeable, and we can do all of the above.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble, and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic way. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found. Leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
How about a hand for Aaron, huh? I was not in too once. I hate this book. Beautiful job. And Frank Consuela. Rocky Pursuit. And Barry Ferrara. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for coming out to this really night of jazz and opera. Hope you enjoyed it. Spread the word. We still have some CDs for sale if you have room to carry something. And thank you very, very much for coming. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you and good night.